Hi, this is Mrs. Broad, and today we're going to take everything we learned about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing radicals and put it all into one note set. All right, so let's look at the first one. We can see that this is going to be a multiplying, and we should be able to recognize that 144 is a perfect square, and the square root of 144 is 12. So we multiply that with 5. And we get our final simplified answer to be 60. Number 2 is a dividing problem. So I can see that if I separate these out, the square root of 49 is a perfect square, as is the square root of 144. And then I'm going to have to multiply it by 4 when I'm finished. But let's go ahead and simplify what we've got. So the square root of 49 is 7. The square root of 144 is 12. I can go ahead and multiply this by 4. And I'll go ahead and stick it 4 over 1 and simplify a little bit. I can see 4 goes into 4 once and 4 goes into 12 3 times. So this is going to simplify to 7/3. So I could leave it as 7/3. I could leave it 2 1/3. I could leave it 2.3 repeating. All of those would be acceptable answers. So number 3 is just a straight simplifying. So this is where we want to figure out how to break this down, 72. So remember, you could go to y equals in your calculator and do 72 divided by x and look for the largest perfect square that you can find, because we know it breaks down to 9 and 8, but remember 8 can break down further, so you're going to just end up having to keep simplifying if you don't find the largest perfect square. And the largest perfect square is actually 36. This will break into the square root of 36 and the square root of 2. We know that the square root of 36 is 6. There's nothing we can do with the square root of 2, so we leave this 6 square root of 2. So always look for the largest perfect square. We know 9's a perfect square, but it's not the largest one in that. So this 392 would be a great one to plug into your y equals and look at the table of factors. But it does, the first thing I would look at is it's even, so I'm going to try to divide it by 2. And it does break into the square root of 2 and the square root of 196. And 196 is a perfect square. So let's say you didn't break it down to 2 and 196 at first. That's okay. You just have to keep seeing that there are still numbers that would be able to be broken down underneath the radical. You want to keep simplifying until you can't simplify it anymore. So the square root is going to be 14. That's going to come out and be in the front. Now we've got b to the 4th. Remember, even exponents are perfect squares. So what we do is divide those by 2, which is b squared. That's going to come out of the radical. Because it's a perfect square, there's no b's left inside the radical. So the only thing that should be left in the radical is 2. So I've got 14b squared times the square root of 2. So let's look at number 5. So again, I'm going to go to that y equals most likely, and I'm going to plug in 150 divided by x, and I'm going to look at my tables of values and try to find the highest exponent I can, which is 6 and 25, not the highest exponent, the highest perfect square, sorry, which is the factor 6 and 25, because I know that the square root of 25 is 5, so that would come outside. I can see c to the 3rd is not a perfect square, so remember, I'm going to drop that down to c squared times c. The square root of c squared is c, because I'm going to divide that in half. But that's going to leave a c inside the parenthesis, or inside the radical as well. So I need to remember that. E to the fourth is a perfect square. I divide it by 2, and e squared is what comes out. So now I need to go back and look at what I still have inside the radical. And I've still got a 6 and a c. So I'm going to have to leave those inside the radical as I'm simplifying. So 5c e to the second times the square root of 6c. So now I've got an addition and a subtraction problem. So what I need to remember here is that I can only combine like terms. So anything with the square root of 3, I can combine those. Anything with the square root of 6, I can combine those. So I've got 5 square root of 3 plus 7 square root of 3. That would be 12 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 3. So 12 minus 2 is going to leave me with 10 times square root of 3. I have nothing to combine this plus 4 to the square root of 6. So I'm just going to add that to the end of my simplified answer. There's nothing else I can do with that. So remember on number 7, we may be able to simplify some of these. We can't simplify the square root of 10. So let's see if we could simplify 40. Well, we could break that down into the square root of 4 times the square root of 10, knowing that the square root of 4 is 2. That 2 is going to multiply with that 3 on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down my first one, 2 square root of 10. Now I've got negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 square root of 10. And there's nothing I can do with that plus 4 times the square root of 5. So now I can combine my like terms. 2 square root of 10 minus 6 square root of 10 is negative 4 square root of 10 plus 4 square root of 5. And that would be my simplified answer. All right, so multiplying, I've got a negative on the outside on this. That negative has to stay on the outside. I'm going to go ahead, I can't break these down anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply 6 times 15 to get the square root of 90. So I've got negative times the square root of 90. Now I need to think, can I break down 90 into anything with a perfect square? And I can. I can break it into the square root of 9 and the square root of 10. We know that the square root of 10 can't be broken down, but the square root of 9 simplifies to 3. That 3 would come out, but don't forget that that negative is still there. So it's like a negative 1. So negative 1 times 3 would make negative 3. We still have that 10 inside the radical. And that's all we can do to simplify number 8. All right, so for number 9, there's a couple things you could do. You could break down the square root of 90 first if you wanted to. Or you could put everything underneath the radical and divide and then break that down. I'm going to go ahead and break down the square root of 90. So the square root of 90, we just did this one in the last problem, is the square root of 9 times the square root of 10. Well, we know that the square root of 9 is a perfect square of 3. So that leaves us with the square root of 10 divided by the square root of 5. One thing I can do here is combine those under one big radical, and I can see that that would simplify to the square root of 2. So my simplified answer would be 3 times the square root of 2. It would also be okay if you went ahead and combined at the very beginning and got the square root of 18, then broke that down into the square root of 9 times the square root of 2. 9's a perfect square. You would still come up with the same thing. So remember, on a lot of these, there are a lot of different ways to approach the question, as long as you get the same simplified answer. All right, for our last one, I can't do anything with 1/2 in the radical, so I'm going to separate them out. I do know that the square root of 1 is a perfect square of 1. I can't do anything with the 2, but I also can't leave it this way because remember, we can't have radicals in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 2. So 1 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 2. The square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 4. I can't do anything with the square root of 2 on the top, but the square root of 4 is 2. That gets rid of the radical that I wanted to get rid of, and that is my simplified final answer. And that's it.